Nearly 7 miles below the surface of the Pacific lies Challenger Deep, Earth's deepest known surface point. No sunlight reaches this far down. The pressure outside the hull is roughly 16,000 pounds per square inch, about 8 tons pressing on every square inch of its external surface. To build a vehicle that can survive that pressure, again and again, costs a fortune. One widely reported price for the Triton 36,000/2 Hadal exploration system was approximately $48.2 million, including the submersible, its support vessel, and scientific equipment. That's not a passenger ticket. A Challenger Deep expedition has previously been advertised at around $750,000 per person, a fraction of the full system's price tag. Today, we're going to unpack that number and put it next to something almost nobody compares it to: the price of real healthcare infrastructure. The comparison is still extraordinary, but only if we're precise about exactly what's being bought. Stay with US. What $76 million actually buys. Now let's look at a very different kind of transaction, one that's often misunderstood. So we want to get this exactly right. In August 2020, Hudson Regional, a New Jersey-based healthcare company, closed on the purchase of the land beneath Bayonne Medical Center for approximately $76 million. It's important to be precise. This was a real estate transaction. For the property, the hospital's operations were separately run by another healthcare operator at the time, and the property purchase did not by itself transfer the operating hospital business. Still, the comparison is worth sitting with. 2 complete Triton systems at the reported $48.2 million each would run close to $96.4 million. The $76 million property price was about 1.5 complete Triton systems, less than 2, but substantially more than 1. One of these assets, the submersible itself, is built to carry 2 people at a time into total isolation. The other is land supporting a hospital facility that serves an entire community. So here's the question at the heart of this video. Why might someone with that kind of wealth choose the submersible instead of funding more conventional infrastructure? The economics of scarcity. To understand this, you have to understand what money runs out of being able to buy. Once you already have enough of it, a yacht or private jet can still feel like another entry in an expanding luxury market. One of many, owned by many. But depth, real crushing, Challenger Deep depth, remains one of the most difficult to reach places on Earth. Here's a number that holds up. By most published counts, only a few dozen people have ever reached the bottom of Challenger Deep. It's an extraordinarily small number, compared with almost any famous destination. That scarcity is a large part of the product being sold. This resembles what economists call positional consumption, spending whose value partly comes from status, exclusivity, or comparison with what others can access. To be fair, systems like the Triton 36,000/2 aren't used only for private thrill-seeking. The same platform was used in the 5 Deeps expedition for genuine scientific exploration and ocean floor mapping. When marketed to private buyers, though, it's advertised as available for acquisition by individuals, governments, research institutions, and foundations alike, and to a private buyer specifically, it's sold as an exceptionally scarce personal experience. Whether that's worth tens of millions of dollars is a values question, not a factual one, but it's clearly a very different kind of value than the one hospital infrastructure is built to provide. So here's the question we'll leave you with. If you had tens of millions of dollars to spend on something extraordinary, would you put it toward a rare expedition to one of the most difficult to reach places on Earth, or toward land and infrastructure that supports a hospital serving an entire community? There's no wrong answer. but it does say something about what value really means to different people. Tell us your choice in the comments. And if this kind of deep dive comparison is your kind of content, hit subscribe. We're always looking for the next number that doesn't make sense until you break it down.